growing up, I was overweight. If you haven't noticed already, I stutter. So I had 2 strikes already. So there was, I had a very hard childhood. To most people don't even know the extent of. And yeah, it really it drove me to some dark areas, to places where I remember contemplating if life should continue, and yeah, that's the stuff that, I mean, you don't just, as Taylor says, shake it off. It doesn't happen quite like that. It made me a very bitter, angry, sarcastic human. Brian had always taught about hearing God, and I was raised Pentecostal, where that kind of stuff is supposed to happen, but it just never did. And it wasn't necessarily that Brian taught us how to do it, but he brought validity to what my thoughts of what hearing God was. And I remember that night when we prayed specifically for me to hear God, and all of a sudden God just started to download stuff, and I wrote 1.5 pages, 2 pages of things that God seen in me and how He felt of me, and that was really the start of the change of my perception. I think the biggest thing that came with my weight was always the insecurity of it, and it wasn't even until even when I started to see weight loss, it didn't change. It wasn't until the middle of where God kind of said, see, it didn't matter. It didn't matter what size you were. It was never about physical size. Don't get me wrong, health is a whole different side of things, but who I am wasn't a physical size. It didn't matter what size my jeans were. Sam was still Sam. So in the middle of all that, God really revealed to me who I was. And I think after 30 years of being shaped by who I physically was, I almost lost vision of who I actually was. And the other day I went through the drive-thru and I couldn't say sleeve. I wanted a regular coffee with a sleeve on it, and I couldn't say the word sleeve, and I got so mad. I thought, God, why can't I speak? The first thing you do as a human is you crap, and then you walk, and then you talk, and I can't do one of those 3. I thought, what is wrong? And God kind of gave me a shake and said, it doesn't matter. Those things don't matter. When I started at Lowe's, I was a stalker. I worked overnights. I put things away. I slugged heavy crap because that's what I did my whole life. And I thought, wow, that's a great position. I've been doing this for years. I can move heavy barbecues, no problem. And I did it very well. And then they put me in with the public, and things changed. I had no choice but to talk to people. As a servant, I committed to Lowe's, and I thought, well, that's my job now. I have to do it. And that's what kind of drove me past the fact that, I stutter, so what? Do you want an appliance or not? I'm the guy you got here. So but it was because I was forced into that. I think that God kind of took it and said and showed me that even though, I may or may not have a stutter my whole life. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But if it does, it doesn't matter. I've always tried to live my life selflessly, and to be a part of a church that has that ingrained in the foundation of who we are. I would never be able to exist without being a part of that. Whenever we try and overcome things on our own, it doesn't work, and it's only when we sit and think through, go back to that same kind of the same tools that won the battle for the very first time. It was all right, God, what do you say about me? People say this. Is it true? No, yes, whatever. But God, what do you say about me? And what is my true value? And where is my actual acceptance in?